As you guys were talking, I actually had an epiphany, a great analogy. I think finding a career, like a long-term career path, is actually very similar to like finding a partner, like either front end or consulting or whatnot. But then that's why you go around and not go around.
Go around with companies, yes.
Rejection is really a good motivation to really upskill yourself and to improve.
When I was younger, rejection hit hard. And then you start to learn more and more from people. And you realize, oh wait, no, there are people out there who are grinded, who have done so much work and they are deserving of the role. It's that you have not gotten to the stage that they've gotten.
Work is not everything. At 60 when you retire, who's going to be there for you? What are you doing during your rest days? What are you doing during your evenings when you get off work?
Okay, so I think the next segment we also want to talk about is, even after all of this preparation that we have done, we still have faced 80 to 90% rejections, I'll say. Is that around the number you're facing?
I think higher.
99? 99. Yeah. So I think we can all agree that. Okay, one word about the job market right now.
Terrible.
Next.
I want to cry.
Yeah, that was 3 words.
Sorry.
It's right from business.
I cannot count, that's why I'm not going to my
Yeah. What do you think about the job market? Yeah. Despair. Yeah. Okay. No, but wait, we're supposed to be encouraging here. Yeah. So
Guys, don't live in delusion. It's reality.
yeah. So yeah, I would say I would say build up your hard skills like butchering too.
Yep.
Okay.
You never know.
No, I would say ever since COVID, the job market has not really fully recovered to pre-COVID levels, and I think internationally there's also a global slowdown. So it's inevitable that we have faced a lot of rejections. But the important thing is, how do you deal with the rejections and bounce back from them? Yeah. Do you all have anything to share from your experiences?
Cry first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let it sink in.
Yeah.
Take your time,
Yeah.
cry first.
Really look in the mirror and say, it is because of your. Okay,
Yo, no, you are the problem. You are the problem.
It's you. Everything started from you.
Okay, no, but
Disclaimer.
this is all fun and games, guys.
Yeah.
We are not
Yeah.
like this. Okay, no, but I think to maybe be a bit more brutally honest, I think the first, when I was younger, which is year 1, year 2, rejection hit hard. Because you've not faced it at that level before. There is a certain level of overconfidence that comes with the hurt from rejection. You feel like you deserve it. And then you're like, why didn't I get it? And then you start to learn more and more from people. And you realize, oh wait, no, there are people out there who have grinded, who have done so much work, and they are deserving of the role. And it's not the fact that you are bad, it's that you have not gotten to the stage that they've gotten. Most of I think the best way to handle rejection is not to take it as an indictment of your abilities, but rather to take it as a learning opportunity that you have ways to go. You have not prepared enough yet, and that's not because that you are not a great person, or it's not because you're not a good fit for the company, but it's because you're still on your journey of learning and understanding how to be the best version of yourself. I think the reason why I can say this is because of my own consulting journey, from when I was applying last year to as compared to when I applied this year. It was a turnaround where I think I got hearbacks from more than 10 or 15 companies that I got rejected instantly from last year. And that was within 1 year of gaining more internship experience, learning more about what do they look out for, what is it in the cover letter that they look out for, what is it in the resume that they look out for. Making all those adjustments regularly, getting those adjustments better, either by a staff advisor or by a senior or something or the other. And that conscientious effort to really improve every little element that goes into an interview process from start to end. And it's that improvement that led me to where I am. And I think that was the best way for me to understand that me getting rejected is not that I'm not good, it's that people were better at that point. And I have ways to go to reach that point.
I agree. So I think one of the most important things that when handling rejection is know why you're rejected before taking it as a bad thing. Because for whatever reason, it might be because you missed like the deadline by 1 day, that's why you're rejected. Not because your resume is not good enough, not because they don't like you as a person, or not because like your technical skills are not good at all. It's just really ultimately some company will say, hey, actually he missed the deadline by 2 days. We're not opening for hire anymore. Let's just send a rejection. And then some people they might take it as like, oh, I'm terrible. This is just like a small company who like not even many people want to enter and I got super rejected. I must be even lower than that. Then that's a bad mindset to have. Yeah. So that's one thing. And then secondly is that rejection is really a good motivation to really upskill yourself and to improve. So take it as a good thing. I wouldn't say it's the best thing to have. Like, of course, once in a while you must have an offer as well, right? So, but having the rejection itself shouldn't be something to like beat yourself up over and like deny your own existence over it and like blame yourself over the mirror. Like, no, don't do that, right? So, so know why you're rejected, how you can improve, and what you can do from here on to improve yourself such that next time around you apply next year, they won't reject you this time around. And then understand it well. Don't just take it as, oh shit, they rejected me, I must be lower than those that they didn't reject. But then I know your case. And sometimes it's also a lot of timing, a lot of chance. Right? So some people got in through referral, you got in through like normal application, maybe you're already doing quite well. Yeah. So take it with a pinch of like a whole tablespoon of salt now, honestly. Just in hindsight it sounds bad, but you must understand exactly why. Yeah.
So really interesting opinions here. As you guys were talking, I actually had an epiphany, a great analogy. I think finding a career, like a long-term career path, is actually very similar to like finding a partner, like either front end or consulting or whatnot. But then that's why you go around and not go around.
Go around with companies, yes.
You date people that you like, and you really figure out like, what type of company you want, just like what type of partner you want. And as you said, like dealing with rejection, don't always take it personally. Sometimes you can introspect, like, is it really, you're lacking in a certain, like, for jobs it'll be skills, but in a relationship it'll be like maybe you're just not good enough, you're not even bothering to better yourself, or like is it parts of your personality that you can improve. So for jobs it's like soft skills and hard skills that you can work on. Yeah. So sometimes it's just a lack of fit, right? Like, you're just going on with that person, you're just not meant to be. And in different companies, there really are different cultures. Like, for example, in startups, perhaps you have to take on many, many different hats. You have to do HR one day, then do sales another day. And in MNCs, you're just doing one role, but you get really, really specialized in it. So, like, it's really not for everyone. And I think, like, it's great that, to explore the different options and figure out what you want. Yeah. So I think now we'll just be wrapping up with some last words of advice. Do you have like maybe 1 to 2 lines of advice you wanna give up?
I think just be aware that everybody has their own journey. I think 2 things. One is when you're in uni, you kind of are like a horse with blinders on, where you see this 1 or 2 objectives, like a big company with a big salary or something or the other, and you're running straight towards it without as much deeper consideration. But you need to remember that life doesn't end at 25 or 26 or 23 whenever you graduate. Life starts then. And what are your objectives? I think what somebody mentioned previously as well, what are your long-term objectives, right? So do you want to do a master's in the future? Do you want to have a house by a certain age? Do you want to have a family by a certain age? And you should keep those in mind when you are planning your journey. Just because somebody else goes to, let's say, an MBB, for example, doesn't mean that MBB might be right for you based on your objectives. just because somebody is doing summer internships doesn't mean doing only summer internship is right for you. I personally have never done a summer before. Mine have been all 6 months, which is a bit weird when I look back at it, but it's something that fit the best for me. And there's a realization that only came later on, that my journey is my own. But if you can constantly remind yourself of that, it makes approaching all of this that much easier. I won't say it will simplify things for you. I won't say it will suddenly make it all hunky-dory and happiness, but it will help you know that just because somebody else is doing this doesn't mean that this is something you should do as well. You should do what is your own.
Yeah. I think for me, most importantly, for everyone, I feel that know yourself well, right? So the reason why I've been exploring is that I really want to know exactly what are my strengths, what I am weak at, what I like and what I don't like. Yeah, so you know yourself, you know your value, then go and focus on what you think is the best mix of action. Then from there on, you can see that your doors start to open up, the windows of opportunity start to open up, and you feel that now you're making decisions based on really what makes sense rather than what you think would make sense. Because now you're making decisions based on, okay, I like this, that's why I'm doing it, or at this point in time, this is what makes sense for my career path, and then I'm doing it. Rather than just jumping into it and say, oh, because I think that will have the most money, that will be the best for my career. But down the road, you feel that you don't know yourself that so well, and at the point in time, you think that you actually like finance, for example, and then down the line, you're like, oh shit, actually I don't like it. So really know yourself well first. Take your time. I would say, okay, don't take too much time, right? So take your time. I'd rather you land in something you like, but take a bit more time than to just jump into things that you really hate. Yeah. So look at like what Joy said, I have overarching goal, but then also the goal must make sense to you personally. Yeah.
I feel like they give many, very good advice. I would say maybe just last bit to add on, like work is not everything in life also. So you have your family, you have your relationships, you have a lot of other things you care about. At 60 when you retire, who's going to be there for you? Yeah, so it's like definitely we should be passionate about doing something in life, about working towards something in life, but also take time outside of work. What are you doing during your rest days? What are you doing during your evenings when you get off work? I think that's very important also. That's something to keep in mind. Yeah. While everyone's just like hustling and reaching their goals. Yeah.
Mine is like my life motto: work hard, play hard.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah. Because you spend a lot of your life like working, even if it's not like in an MNC or whatever, you're working on your own passion projects. But you only have one life, and it's very important to enjoy life, enjoy the process. Like while we are out here hustling for jobs, for internships, for our CAP GPA 5.0, we are also playing and making sure that we make time for our friends and developing these like relationships. I mean, if we didn't spend time making friends, like all 4 of us wouldn't be here right now. So yeah. You won't remember like, all the Python code and whatnot. You will remember. There's so many things I can't say.
Maybe you're
On your deathbed, you won't be like y equals to x plus 1. Without the work, who are you really? That's
Yes.
very important.
Yeah. And after all, like, working for a lot of us is just to get the bag, honestly. And why do you need the money? Is to spend on your friends, your family, yourself. So figure out like exactly why you're doing what you're doing and don't just follow the crowd. Yeah.
Thank you everyone for tuning into this episode, and see you on the next episode of
Connecting the Dots.